Hello everyone, welcome back to Blacksmith Studios. My name is Jack and today we will be talking about Creature Commandos and my theories for how Season 2 will go. So for those who don't know, Creature Commandos was the first DCEU project created by James Gunn, now the new CEO of DC Studios. Throughout the course of the show, Creature Commandos has sort of canonized certain events from the old DCEU, with projects like the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker Season 1 being a sort of rough history for the DCEU, with certain events being carried over and other events being left behind with the old DCEU. For example, Project Starfish and the events of the Suicide Squad seem to have occurred in this DCU, as well as the events of Peacemaker Season 1. However, certain things, such as, possibly whether Harley Quinn was part of the Suicide Squad events, or whether or not the Justice League were at the end of the Peacemaker finale. Obviously, certain events are being left with the old DCEU. It can get a little confusing, but what James Gunn has kind of said is that anything referenced in the DCU going forward is officially canon. But anyway, Creature Commandos sees Amanda Waller assign a team of monsters and Rick Flag Sr. to protect Princess Alana from the incoming threat of the witch Cersei. Now, during this show, we find out that Princess Alana planned to destroy the entire world in a sort of World War III and attack many different cities throughout the world, especially America, and it's Cersei who tried to stop her. Now, at the end of the series, the princess is killed by the bride and sort of prevents the future from occurring, and the bride is now the leader of a new Creature Commandos team, including herself, the bride, an upgraded GI robot who was destroyed in the series and rebuilt at the final episode, Weasel, Dr. Phosphorus, Nosferatu, who is a vampire who's usually a villain to Superboy, Callus, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, a mummy character, and King Shark, who will be re-entering the DCU after the events of the Suicide Squad. Now, the other members of the team at the start of the series were killed during the events, with Frankenstein never officially joining the team and Rick Flag Sr. likely not probably part of the future team due to his disagreement with the mission to kill Princess Alana at the end of Creature Commandos. So how will Creature Commandos Season 1 change the DCU going forward leading up to Season 2? Well, firstly, let's look at several factors of the show, such as Clayface. So Clayface was introducing Creature Commandos as part of the plot of Princess Alana to persuade the Creature Commandos to not kill her, essentially delegitimizing the future visions that Cersei was having. Of course, this failed, and Clayface was seemingly killed by Frankenstein. However, Gunn has announced a Clayface project in the DCU, so this could likely be a sign that Clayface did not die during the series, or, there are many different Clayfaces in the comics. It could be a different Clayface in the main DCU project. Secondly, I'd like to look at Rick Flag Sr. So, Rick Flag Sr. has a big place in the DCU going forward. I believe that Creature Commandos Season 2 will release long after Peacemaker Season 2, where Rick Flag Sr. could discover that Amanda Waller was the one who ordered for Rick Flag Jr.'s death, so Rick Flag Sr.'s son, who died during the events of the Suicide Squad by Peacemaker. I think after this, Rick Flag Sr. will kind of make an effort to rid Amanda Waller from her position, leading into the Waller series. I think the Waller series is going to be Amanda Waller at her lowest, trying to keep hold of the power that she has. Now, Season 2 of Creature Commandos could follow this arc of Waller being taken out, and Rick Flag Sr. Could kind of become the Nick Fury of the DCU. It seems that Rick Flag Sr. will still be working with Argus during the events of Superman, so only time will tell where his story goes from here. And thirdly, I'd also like to talk about the fact that in this universe, Themyscira and Cersei have now been established. So I can imagine that Cersei will play a role in the DCU's future, especially with Wonder Woman eventually being included someday. But now, let's talk about Season 2 of Creature Commandos and my theory for it. So, with the new team, I believe that Waller's main course of control will be through the Commandos. She's unable to gather a Suicide Squad again, so this will be her main source of control. With Season 1, we had the team stop World War III to prevent several heroes from being killed, but in the next season, I think that the team will confront the consequences of that. So, firstly, it could be that Cersei's future vision was obviously in accordance to Princess Alana launch an attack, but without Princess Alana, does that future vision change? What causes Princess Alana to suddenly want to attack everyone? I mean, she's been around, why hasn't she done this big World War III attack sooner? It seems perfect timing that it happens during the Suicide Squad. So what if this vision of Cersei was actually not prevented? And in fact, set down a different path. I mean, Waller has allowed a second iteration of the Creature Commandos to begin, but the American government has now, with the Creature Commandos, has now been part of the assassination of Princess Ilana. So, Pakistan is going to be a threat. It seems very obvious. The country is not going to just allow the Creature Commandos to kill one of their leaders and just let America get away with it. So it could be that a threat appears with Pakistan and the commandos are sent out to neutralize it again. Maybe to prevent maybe prevent the secret from getting out that America essentially just slaughtered a leader of a country with no reason, no rhyme, and with monsters. I even thought that we could even have Gorilla Grodd be a villain during Season 2. I mean, we are getting... we have seen Gorilla Grodd in the future visions for Cersei, so why, clearly Princess Alana and Gorilla Grodd have had some sort of history, or they gain a history down the line, so why not have Gorilla Grodd be one of the main threats? And, he's kind of a monster. I think that although the princess is dead, the threat of World War III is still coming, and Waller wants to prevent this at all costs. We could see the political side of things with Waller arguing with her superiors, and Flag could even have a part in this, trying to remove Waller from Argus and take control himself. I also believe that Frankenstein will officially join the team and accept that he will never be with the bride, but they kind of share a sibling relationship rather than a romantic relationship. The first season of Creature Commando was very character driven. Each episode kind of shared the backstory of each member, so now that we have all the backstories, it'll be interesting to see certain episodes of Season 2 show the backstories of the new members. I mean, we haven't quite seen King Shark's origin in the DCU, Nosferatu or Callus, and if Gorilla Grodd makes an appearance, we could see an origin for him. I think that Creature Commandos will be... The Creature Commandos will be an ally to the Justice League down the line, and we could start to see this come about during Creature Commandos Season 2, where essentially Superman and a few other heroes are now coming out into the light and are starting to discuss teaming up, and we could see the Creature Commandos try and become an ally to them. Waller could obviously be a threat to the Commandos as well. That's an option, considering that she clearly does not want the Justice League around. She would prefer to have all the power to herself, and yeah, I think that would really work as well. It's unclear as to where the second season will go at this point, of course, but I'm excited to have these theories. I just hope that James Gunn gives some time away from these sorts of projects, with Peacemaker Season 2 also coming out, and let us see more of the DCU before revisiting the Commandos, now in a far different DCU. I do love the sort of R-rated, darker projects that James Gunn is doing. I really do. But I think it's nice to step away from that and deal with things like, Lanterns and Supergirl and Superman. The DCU looks very exciting to me, and although we don't know much, we do know that Waller, at the end of the day, is going to be a bigger threat to the heroes of this world than we first thought. But anyway, thank you all so much for listening. I hope you did enjoy this video. Let me know what you thought about Creature Commandos in the comments below. Yeah, what you're excited to see in a season 2. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. We are working on some great pitches and pre-writes this year, so please stay tuned. A few have been announced and a few haven't been, so yeah, stay tuned for that. But anyway, thanks again for listening, and I hope you all have a great day.